we do pretty well here down under. I just want to say, we've smashed through this today.
Have we?
Yeah, we're going real well.
Going strong. Pretty quick time.
Maybe those guys over in NA ran a little bit over time. We managed to catch it up because we're just that cool.
We are. Thanks, NA, as usual.
We'll get there. But their games were very exciting.
They were. But speaking of Cavino, he is on that Junkrat, which was what I was referring to just a little bit beforehand. So that's not going to be particularly fun to push into. Drop down to half HP early on in the piece, but gets healed right back up. No worries there for SereNity. Tainted Minds themselves going for more or less the dive comp again. This time though with Moira as opposed to the usual Zenyatta, so they do want to take those brawlier fights on the point.
We saw them go well with Moira before. It doesn't help.
That's not fun.
When it goes really down straight away.
Dying to Moira's E is like the worst thing in the world because it's this slow-moving ball. You're like, how did I die to that? But unfortunately, Baby Poro did.
Unfortunately, did. Yes. So, as you said,
did he jump into that? We'll find out after the pause.
We'll find out next on our episode.
He's probably madly
Contenders
mashing E right now. As he comes, as you come out of that pause, you're going to be spamming E to see if you can deflect that, or if he's just jumped right into it and he's going to die. I'm excited to see.
We'll have to wait.
There's so much suspense.
You'll have to wait till tomorrow, Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, not really. We'll get there. I'm sure the pause will unpause very shortly.
Right.
But that was a pretty epic place to take a break, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll see how it ends up going. I mean, there's not really too much to talk about initially. We haven't really seen much early on in the piece, I guess. I mean, Tainted Minds tried to push in there. They got picked a couple of players and had to fall back. They're now sort of setting up for
Tainted were better, as we saw before on Ilios, when they did use that Moira. It felt that maybe they were a little bit more comfortable. Maybe I'm over, you know, taking this. Maybe I'm taking too much from it. We'll have to wait and see. But
yes, he died! Bad luck, Stencil. But that was funny. I like that. Good fan of that pause.
I'm glad you feel that way, Jordan. I'm glad you feel that way. So, wasted about a minute here. Nothing's really happened for now. Tainted Minds holding this one back. Just a little bit slow to get there, I suppose. SereNity holding the point on the point. They're sitting back here with that Reinhardt shield. Full Metal ready to jump over the top. Let's go.
There's a player in the back of the lines in there as well. I think it was D-Field, and they do actually drop Cavino early on in the piece. He was getting close to his ulti, so that could be a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But SereNity are managing to get the kills that they need to hold strong right now. Full Metal just dancing around, spamming away with that Tesla cannon, not really being able to do too much. And D-Field looks like he's actually going to get out of that one scot-free, so that's a little bit lucky that there was no one hanging around on that backside of the map for SereNity to shut him down. Still, Tainted Minds, another failed push, which is a little unfortunate for them. Now we do start to see some ultimates coming up, though. There is the EMP, of course, a perfect window available in that first point for Sombras to jump through with their translocator. But also, Baby Poro does have the Coalescence available as well. So,
yeah, you'd like to think with a good EMP and maybe that Coalescence is enough to get them onto the point here. We'll have to see. D-Field has gone invisible, but caught out.
That's huge.
Oh my goodness.
And the traps are basically in the same spot as well. Cavino.
Yes. 2 times in a row, mate.
Doing it a little bit better than D-Field there. That does, I mean, yes, okay, it cost Tainted Minds some time here, but at least they hadn't fully committed to that fight. They're not going to feed too much ultimate charge over to SereNity as a result. But what it does do is it allows a lot of the time for all of the ultimates, really, for everyone actually to come up. We're only missing one on each side, Quad J and Nox, both very close as well. So this could be a pretty explosive fight. And there is the EMP.
EMP comes out, Slitzer J ready with the Dragon Blade, takes down the Moira, nice work. Can he get another one? Not for now, needs to put it away. Full Metal does take down Nox. Tainted Minds looking very good here. They should be able to capture this point and do so with ease, but all these ultis used up across the board. It doesn't really matter. All you really want is the capture right now. Plenty of time to work onto point number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, that's really, again, just off the back of the EMP for D-Field. It really denied any potential hold there for SereNity as Tainted Minds just come charging in. They haven't got the ability, or multiple members of their team haven't got the ability to use their ultis, haven't got their abilities either. It's kind of like, what are you going to do, really? Like, how do you counteract that? I suppose you don't group, but you can't really not group.
It's the translocator throw, right? It's almost like an EMP bomb. You're just lobbing it over the top, and there you are.
Exactly. Once that translocator is thrown, like, there's nothing you can actually do to stop the translocator. So anyway, we'll have to figure that out in the future. For now, focusing in on this second point take by Tainted Minds. going quite as well as planned, as SereNity are holding fairly strong.
Yeah, for now. They'll do a bit of damage. You can see so many players here from Tainted Minds on fire right now, but no ultimates it up. D-Field's going to be the first one to come back through and grab that EMP. SereNity does have Fluoro Ash ready to go there with the sound barrier, and we'll see if it works out. But holding so far, so good. D.Va pushes through, baby. Poro there with the heals, almost demeched for now.
Yeah, but not quite. Mini monkey on monkey action goes his way. So it's a 5 versus 5 for now, though Baby Poro does get full metal up. Saying that, though, it's not really going to work out too nicely for Tainted Minds. Despite that res, they lose 4 players and cannot afford to continue the push.
Gavino way too strong with the machine pistol. I suspect we're going to see more and more of that across the board as more and more players start playing that Sombra.
Yeah, it is a
Just
very,
that
very
little
strong
buff just makes that difference, man. If you just bring in the spread range just a tad, makes life so much easier.
Let's see what SlitzorJ can do here on McCree. Has been fairly good on it.
Ready for Deadeye too, almost.
Exactly, and that's the key. Tainted Minds don't have many other ultis to play with. Oh, this could be big. But there's the bubble. The Winston bubble is causing too many problems for him, and he just can't get anything off there. A little unfortunate, but the zoning, I mean, it didn't really play too much of a part in this fight because Tainted Minds couldn't take advantage of it. And now the fight begins in earnest. SereNity should be able to win this one. Cavino, the EMP does come out. Forbles again, a double kill for him. Zenyatta doing so much damage. And it's just going to be, again, a fairly clean wipe for SereNity. Tainted Minds forced back once more.
It was Sound Barrier into EMP, into Tac Visor, whilst Tainted Minds, we can see there, look at that, sitting ready to go. So, we'll take another quick pause here, Jordan. Anything you want to address?
Yeah, SereNity doesn't really have too many ultimates available for this
they used
fight.
3.
They used
three on that defense.
All of their ultis that were available. I think they had the Transcendence at 76% just before we went into that pause. So it's maybe going to be up in time for the fight if we don't see Tainted Minds just fully commit. But if Tainted Minds fully commit straight in, I think they had the EMP, of course, which is a big one, and that's going to potentially just shut down everything on that point. So this is a really good opportunity right now for Tainted Minds.
And I think they probably know, right? They can see, they've just seen all these ultimates come out. Now is the time to jump into the point. So we'll have to wait just a few more moments, hopefully, for that pause to wind itself up, and we should be good to go very, very shortly. I'm feeling maybe this is the best opportunity Tainted Minds going to have in the next minute or so. Yeah,
if they lose this fight, then we're going to come back into it with another one for SereNity where they have 3 or 4 ultimates available, and that might just be a little bit too much to deal with. So, yeah, we have Self-Destruct, we have Sound Barrier, and not quite actually the EMP. So I thought that D-Field was in the position that God's World was in. SlitzorJ's getting close, Full Metal's getting close as well. And it's Archaeus and Forballs that might get theirs there in time.
It's going to be close. They're going to rush on through. Look at this.
It's the best chance, really, though, for Tainted Minds that we've seen so far.
Absolutely. 100% agree right now. Oh!
It's not too bad. It's just a hack.
Slows them down, though. Buys just a little bit of time.
Cavino does get dropped as a result of it, though. So that's a good opening for Tainted Minds. Forballs has got Transcendence up in time, but is it going to save him? Not going to save Mini, that's for sure. SlitzorJ gets a couple on the Deadeye. Just continues to fire away. In the meanwhile, Tainted Minds making this one look pretty good. That ult advantage paying dividends right now for them. And SereNity, they're still quite a ways off. Another 10-15 seconds of fighting. But they're not going to get that as Tainted Minds do cap out with 1:20 left on the clock.
And they did exactly what they needed to do. They knew more than we did, I suspect, that now was the time. And they made the most of it. We saw Cavino come through there with the Sombra. He used a hack. He forced them back a little bit, but in the end, cost him his life. Maybe, I'm not sure whether it was worth it or not.
I mean,
you have to question
I think he kind of had to try and go for it to slow them down because he knew that they didn't really have the ults to contest that fight. So
you're down one, right?
Yeah, they were down one, but I feel like it was kind of a risk versus reward kind of a thing.
Okay.
The risk maybe proved to be a little bit too much, unfortunately, but if he would have pulled it off, if he would have survived, it would have been a fairly good play. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
It is.
But now SereNity on the attack.
On the moon.
I mean, 1:20 in the bank is not a lot for Tainted Minds. So SereNity, really all they have to do is just cap second rather. And they get that minute timer, even if they take it through to overtime.
Exactly. It's not that great, is it? It's not that great. So we'll see what they can do. What do you think about these lineups for now? I'm really enjoying Covino on Sombra, and it's not even something that I necessarily thought Covino was locked in at, but we've seen it time and time again today. Just
yeah, I think at this point,
pick maybe, or just been working on it.
You just have to have the Sombra. So, I mean, on certain maps, yeah, obviously, but clearly, it's a pretty big pickup for most teams, I will say. It's a dive comp again out here from SereNity. Nox this time is on the Genji. We haven't really seen too much from him on Genji so far this series. I think he's been very impressive on the Soldier. But the Genji, yeah, well, we'll wait and see.
Well, the time is now, Jordan, and SereNity pushing their way out on attack here on Horizon Lunar Colony. If they pick this map up, 3-0, which means they win the match. Obviously, all the maps count. That would be great to have in the bag heading into map number 4.
D-Field gets fairly low there, has to fall back onto the point. Already some position given up to SereNity. Very quickly in through the right side of the map, down towards the point, getting actually some cap time on the point as well. So Jay going to try and put out as much damage as he can, but the first pick of the fight, Mini does get full metal. A trade back from Tainted Minds. Is it going to be enough though? Is the cap timer still ticking up and up and up, but Slitsaw is not being pressured right now. No one's dived onto him, and that's what SereNity needs to be doing here. Yeah, okay, maybe they dove onto the support, but that just gives Slitsaw a lot of free time to just fire away with the Soldier, and Soldier does a lot of damage, funnily enough.
They do, and right now Tainted Mind's really just farming up some of this ultimate, to be fair, as finally SereNity does decide to drop back. I think maybe Forbles threw himself away just a little bit early.
Yeah, Baby Pro has been farming up a storm on Hannah there. A lot of healing done, so the ultimate is available.
There you go, ready to go with the Nano Boost right now. They can combine that with Slitsaw J as well. Nano Visor looking very, very strong.
Potentially indeed. However, SereNity, Forbles does have that Transcendence, and it will be popped onto the point. Does come SereNity. 2 quick kills, taking out both of the healers. That is bad news right now for Tainted Minds. Really, the only healing that they're going to get was off the Soldier, and he's also down now as well. So, this is looking fairly comfortable right now, though the self-destruct does buy a little bit of time for Tainted Minds. Not for too much longer, though. Quad J, he'll get his Mac back, but it's going to be too little too late. He might even get staggered here.
Yeah, this ain't going to be great here for Quad J. We'll go down, we'll get demected, and see you later. They pick up the point. 1:55 on the clock, 5:55.
I wonder if this is going to play a part. Are they going to just charge right into that cap before Quad J respawns? I don't think they're going to get there really in time, but they have decided to go for it anyway.
Ultimates. They've got 4 snacked up, ready to go. Full Metal jumps on down. Sound Barrier comes out. Dragon Blade comes out. Okay. Baby Poro, Slitsaw J, both eliminated.
But
wow.
Okay, but that's a really good push out from Tainted Minds. That was completely dry. Okay, God's World, he probably didn't need to do that, but with the exception of the Transcendence there used by God's World, Tainted Minds used 0 ultimates. SereNity used 3 of theirs.
They got very close to picking up the point, but you're right. If that was the cost, Jordan, maybe was it a cost too much?
Well,
we'll have to wait and see.
They got 1 tick already, and SereNity have used so many of their ultis. Tainted Minds should have been feeling pretty comfortable with that and should have gone back and probably just repushed. But they're going to continue to try and push this one, and SereNity doesn't really seem to be working out for them.
Yeah, well, 1.5, almost 2 ticks here for SereNity. We'll have to see what they can do. They did use, as you said, 3 ultimates. Tainted Minds managing to hold that one back. It looked potentially like SereNity could swing it around. Quad J was down. They thought maybe they had the time. Yeah. In the end, not enough. So, if we take a look across the board as everyone resets. Slitsaw J, I was going to say looking good, but Forbles picks him up. We'll see what can happen here. Forbles also ready with that Transcendence, and if they can pick up one more, this could make life very difficult for Tainted Minds.
Certainly is. Was a pretty good Transcendence there as well. Does save the life of Mini. Nox able to take down one of the healers here. The D-Mech does come into effect as well for SereNity. This is not looking very nice for Tainted Minds at all. Slitsaw J, he got his tactical visor off, but SereNity in a real good spot to just cap this one up. Perfect timeout from them as well. 4 minutes on the clock. So, yes, we will go to OT, but much better done there from SereNity than from Tainted Minds.
Certainly is, and as you say, 1:20 on the clock here, Jordan. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them through that first point.
Well, we're going to find out. I don't know if it is either. I mean, they did have a fairly quick cap initially on their first run.
They did, but it was a weird cap, right? Like, they kind of just walked in.
Yeah, I don't think it was 1 minute 20 fast, though.
Oh, it was the EMP, right? EMP over the top. That's what got them through. So,
yep.
Before that, they were actually really struggling on that point. So, I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, 120, if they can jump on, maybe get the EMP relatively quickly. Let's take a look at the comp that we're going to see. D.Va and Winston, as one would probably expect. Baby Poro there on the Moira, but no Sombra right now.
Yeah, that's a fairly interesting change.
Is it a timing thing? By the time you get through 120, if you're really playing for an EMP, how long is it going to take? You're probably going to need to be lucky, right?
You can charge it up pretty quickly, but obviously you can charge the Pulse Bomb up a little bit quicker on Tracer than the EMP on Sombra. So that's potentially the thought process behind that one for D-Field. But he's going to have to make something happen with that Pulse Bomb. And so far, throughout this series, we haven't really seen any big Pulse Bombs out from either team.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Admittedly, there hasn't been much Tracer play.
It's true. Not in this particular matchup anyway. So, straight through the middle is the way they want to play this. Ready to go, ready to dive straight onto this first point. Junkrat with the trap ready to go. D-Field round the back. Can he pick up baubles?
So many low players.
Wow. Cavino, so strong.
See, the thing is, when you don't get those early picks, look how low Cavino was, look how low Baby Poro was, and look how low Forbles was in that. The fact that Moira exists on the field, she can just put out so much healing in such a short amount of time that from 0 HP, or essentially 0 HP, you're basically back to full in the space of half a second or something like that. And there was just a moment there where Tainted Minds could have potentially picked up the kill onto the Junkrat and the kill onto the Moira, but D-Field, I think it wasn't really quite able to land the shots. There was maybe a bit of body blocking going on in there, and that might be just enough to cost Tainted Minds their push here.
This is going to be really difficult. You've got a Riptire, you've got D.Va coming out there as well with the self-destruct, and of course Moira with the Coalescence. So none of these things really lend themselves to Tainted Minds right now.
No.
Not going to be able to get the Riptire off, so that kind of helps. Arceus comes in, uses the E, picks it up, Mini on one as well. There's the self-destruct, forces them off the point. 1 second on the clock into overtime. Baby Poro should get picked up here, and that should be that.
That is that indeed. Cavino, like he didn't really get anything with that Riptire. Obviously he wasn't able to use it, but I think he still got a kill with his little post-mortem grenades, which is a little unfortunate for Tainted Minds, but regardless, a very, very good hold there for SereNity. And, well, now you got to be thinking Tainted Minds are in a poor position.
They are in a less than ideal situation. That is 100% for sure. 4 minutes on the clock. That's tons of time here to come and grab this first point. Should be very easy, and they didn't struggle the first time around either.
Certainly not. With 4 minutes on the clock, they have plenty of time to charge up an EMP if they want, and that seems to be the option of choice.
Can't be safe.
No.
Can't be safe.
Do you really think a board like that would actually stim?
Look, okay, this is a long time in the future, right?
All right.
What? I don't know, like, I guess you go back to basics, yeah? You tell me.
Maybe... I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
30 seconds.
I like whiteboards.
Whoa.
But then,
okay, hang on.
But as opposed, do you like chalk though? Like,
yeah, no, look, I don't really.
Yeah, it gets
the sound
chalk,
it makes when you're drawing.
Chalk goes everywhere. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. All right, well, Cavino is on the Sombra.
Yeah.
So that's the difference here. And if he can get his EMP charged up,
that's all much more time.
Exactly, and that's all that SereNity needed in their attacking side on the first round. So
just one tick, Jordan. Just one. That's all they need here. They're going to go all the way around to the right. Plenty of time to work with. Who is going to find this first pick? Baubles losing a little bit of life. You can see them trying to battle it out between the windows there. Straight away, the Winston jumps in. Nox doing damage. Quad J about to go down. Arceus has been picked up as well.
Almost
Fluoro
1
Ash.
point capped
nice
up there.
work.
That's what SereNity needs.
So
Look
close.
at that. I kind of like what Tainted Minds did there. They were trying to take the fight to SereNity, but they neglected to sit on the cap, and now they're in a really dangerous position. If anyone gets off that cap right now, SereNity does win this map, and SereNity is picking up a lot of the kills right now as well. That's going to be it. The round is captured by SereNity. I could see what Tainted Minds was trying to do. They knew that they had 4 minutes to hold off. They wanted to try and take an early fight, maybe just reset SereNity a little bit, but not going to happen there. They played into the hands of SereNity, and now we are at 3-0 for SereNity. So they win the series.
They do. They pick up the match right now. And if they can make this a 4-0, Jordan, that's precisely what they're going to want to do.
Yep.
We talked about, obviously, trying to pick up the series win, but picking up those match points for the for and against, I suspect that when we get to the end of 6 weeks, it's going to be very, very close. And if we're talking about coming into playoffs, that seeding is crucial. If you can avoid playing seed number 1 or seed number 2 from the other group, that's a great position to be in. So obviously that's the case, but it's things like this where you can come and pick up 1 or 2 extra maps perhaps across the season that might make the difference.
Yeah, definitely. So Tainted Minds, well, they're kind of grasping at straws right now. They need to get that final point on the board. But this would be a great start for SereNity. I mean, particularly for a team that is kind of pegged to be towards the middle end of this group. You know, not necessarily to be up the top or towards the bottom. Every single map win on the board, maybe that shifts them up from 4th into 3rd or from 3rd into 2nd or something like that, which could be a real big bonus for them. I mean, it's too early to call right now, but like you said,
only another 5 weeks to go.
Exactly. Every single point on the board does matter down the track.
So let's go and take a look at what our 4th and final map here will be. It will be Dorado, one of Elfishguy's favourite maps. He's not sure why. He likes the colours, though. Very pretty.
I like colours. Colours are my favourite.
They're good. I think probably SereNity picks this one up. I just want to very quickly talk about the end of that last map while we're still going. And I know we're kind of like, oh, you like the idea of the guys from Tainted Minds jumping out and taking that fight to them. And I think it's important to remember when you've got 4 minutes for your opponent to take 1 tick on the point, you need to think, how do we play this in a scenario? How do we win this scenario? Like if we were to watch the VOD back and we won this, what was the scenario in which we won? And it's, you know, it's like you take that first fight, you pick it up, you do, you know, you charge your ult. So sometimes even if it means that you're going to lose in the end.
It's a risk versus reward.
You need to do it because the alternative is that you're just going to lose.
I agree. I think the go-to for them there was to just find those early picks, get a couple early, fall back onto the point, just defend, as you say, get those ultimates charged up, take the next couple of fights off the back of the ult economy. Hopefully you don't see a big EMP out from Covino or something like that, which really swings it in the favor of SereNity. But it didn't really work out for Tainted Minds.
It didn't work out, and it was always going to be difficult.
Yeah, they got the initial pick, I think, but there was just trades back straight away from from SereNity, and obviously we saw the results. So now onto the final map, and of course, like you said, it is going to be Dorado. SereNity opting once again to start on the defense.
It's nice if you can keep winning those maps, isn't it, to keep starting on defense. It is. It's a great way to play, especially when your opponent only has 2 to pick from. So far, everyone's still alive. SereNity up here on the Pharah. What can he do? A bit of damage across the board, trying to push them back, going to force SereNity back onto the second high ground right now. And slowly this payload pushes its way through to the first choke point.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a little bit more troublesome from Tainted Minds. It seemed like they were having trouble getting SereNity off that high ground, but SereNity falls off the high ground. They lose a few players, and now Tainted Minds is on a really nice roll.
They are. They really like having that momentum. They can play from an advantageous position. They really seem to struggle trying to pull it back. It's very, very difficult. So, great work so far. 3 minutes left. They pushed it quite a distance, getting very close to that first point on the payload as well. And it looks like maybe they will try and push it over the top. There we go. Winston dives in. Forbles goes down as well. And there's the hack.
The hack indeed. Is it going to be enough here, though, for SereNity to win the fight? Doesn't seem as though it will be. Tainted Minds are starting to draw ahead, so that's a big ultimate used from SereNity for really no gain, actually. They need someone to deal with this Pharah, because SereNity, you can see he's on fire right now. Been putting out so much damage, has the ultimate available. There we go, the swap comes across. Nox now onto Soldier. That is in, I suppose, relation to the fact that SereNity is right now destroying Tainted Minds on Pharah.
I really love Pharah as a hero, to be honest. So often Pharahs can change games, and right now Tainted Minds riding on the coattails here of SereNity. Pushing in, there comes the self-destruct. And I think we saw a few self-destructs in NA contenders that were targeted actually at the Pharaoh, using it as a way to force them out. How's this barrage going to go?
Good. It forced the ultimate off Forballs. It forced the Transcendence. There's a little bit of an opening now for the rest of Tainted Minds to make something happen. Particularly deep field. If he can get a stick onto Forballs, that could really pay a lot of problems for SereNity. But right now, it just seems as though the team fight is going to be going the way of Tainted Minds regardless.
Yeah, Tainted pushing through. D-Field finds the last kill there. Fluoro Ash is eliminated, and the payload just starts to turn around this final corner. I think they are going to try and contest on this point. I think it makes sense. Quad J, though, does have the self-destruct ready to go. When's the right play to use this? We'll soon find out. Going to jump up, trying to chase down that Widow. Not a bad play. You can hear the tack visor coming out as well. Yeah, Baby Poro's gone down. Split Sword J's gone down as well. Looking good as SereNity. They should be able to hold this. Yeah,
Quad J was doing a bit of work there. He was, putting a lot of pressure on Covino. Then he kind of cancelled a lot of the ultimate off Nox, who was on the Soldier, but still not quite enough for Tainted Minds to win that fight. And immediately after, we've seen Slitzel J swap off the Pharah. So too does Nox swap off the Soldier onto Tracer. It's going to be a Widowmaker duel now between Covino and Slitzel J.
Who's the better Widowmaker?
Don't know, we're about to find out.
I guess we will, Jordan. 3-0 is the score right now. SereNity would love to make this 4 maps to 0. Tainted Minds, on the other hand, you don't want to come out of your first game going down 0-4. Not great. D-Field, there we go.
Forballs he's so good on this Zenyatta. Even though there's a Tracer dancing around him, he's like, all right, I don't care, I'll 1v1 you. I don't think Covino might have got any shots in there. Maybe he got a body shot or something like that, which would have helped, obviously, but just no real problems for Forballs on that Zenyatta.
Now show them.
Self-destruct ready for Quad Jade. Forballs, you can see, ready with the Transcendence as well. We've managed to eat up a minute here, Jordan. Still 2 to go. But SereNity feeling pretty confident perhaps on this point. They chose a point they wanted to fight at.
D-Field's on a bit of a flank though here, and he'll find Forballs.
Watch Forballs 1v1 him. Oh!
Well, that's good
Great
for
work.
the defensive side. A lot of pressure off Pulse Bomb. Did he get anything? Baby Poro goes down to it. I thought he was looking for Forballs, and I was just going to say, well, Forballs is just going to Transcendence off the back of that. Ooh.
This is not looking great here for Tainted Minds.
This is looking really like...
Kicking down. All that really took before was one great shot coming out of Covino, and then using the ultimate. And that was it.
Yeah.
Now they've got 4 stacked ready to go. We've wasted another full minute. 1:25 on the clock.
So close from Slitzel J there, but now Covino knows his position. What you can do through that Winston bubble, unfortunately. And Nox actually does get Slitzel J with that pulse bomb. I thought it was going to be a little bit too far away, but again, this is going to be the opportunity for SereNity to just dive in there with the Winston, with the Diva, get more damage out onto the remaining Tainted Minds players, take the advantage, get those staggers going. Tainted Minds, 60 seconds left. They're going to have to wait for Godswell to come back up. There's probably 2 pushes left in this one if the first one is very quick and a very quick wipe. Otherwise, maybe only 1.
Yeah, they managed to push them all the way back here as well. 45 seconds on the clock. Self-destruct's available. Transcendence is available for SereNity, and Mini about to get his as well. So looking very good for SereNity. Potential here to pick this point. Finally!
Traded.
Finally, I was going to say Slitzel J with the upper hand, but Nox, very importantly, trades it back. Transcendence comes out. 22 seconds is the call. Mini still ready to go with the Primal Rage. Can D-Field take this one? No. Forballs takes him down. Full metal onto Forballs in return. Mini with the ultimate. Looking very good right now for SereNity.
Yeah, so a really prolonged fight out here for Tainted Minds as well. It's not going to allow them a second. They just need to get on that point and keep the trickle going. If they can even secure overtime here, doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And so, a pretty good hold there from SereNity. Tainted Minds, they get about halfway through the map, but that's, I think, a very achievable sort of a position.
As soon as Tainted Minds were behind, that was it.
Yeah.
They could not get any sort of momentum building. They could not pull it back. And it just went all downhill from there. I think 4 minutes was the count, something like that they had around that corner. And it did not work out for them. So let's see what SereNity will do. Covino probably going to play this Sombra. We can see it picked right now. And has had a very, very good Sombra. Some good hacks, some good EMPs, and to me, so good on that machine pistol.
My real question is it going to be the Widowmaker here for SereNity, or the Pharah, or the Soldier, or the McCree? It's going to be the McCree. Nox still yet to choose. It'll probably be just a Tracer. Maybe a Genji, in fact. Regardless, there's not really any surprises on either of these two rosters. Tracer it is for Nox.
No. I honestly think this is going to be a 4-0 here, Jordan. It's what it looks like. This is what it's going to come to. And man, from that first map from Ilios, that was almost a 2-0. To Tainted Minds. Was it just a matter of SereNity coming back and being stronger? Was it a matter of once you lose that map from being at 99% ready to win, all of a sudden it's difficult to, mentally, it's a pain?
I don't think the tilt factor can go for, 4 maps, right? Maybe it affects
I don't know, Jordan. I played with you, and the tilt factor definitely lasts 4 maps.
The difference is I don't tilt. I just get mad. I still play good.
Okay.
But regardless, I don't think that's really the problem for Tainted Minds here. I think it is just that SereNity is a little bit of a better team.
They certainly have played better, at least since every single round except the first 2 there on Ilios. So far, so good for them. Ready to make it 4-0 potentially. Mini jumps up top. Let's see how long Tainted Minds can hold the high ground. There's 3 of them up now as Diva demeched and drops back. There we go, pushing that payload forward. Covino onto Quad J, picks him up. What can Nox do? Throwing out the shurikens for now, pushes through. SereNity just around the corner.
Just trying to zone out the Tainted Minds players so that they can get some free payload push going. It's working pretty nicely for SereNity.
Yeah.
Nox is, not committing to anything just yet, which again is fair enough.
Look at that, Slitzel J already with the Deadeye. Hasn't had many great ones so far. We'll see if this will be any different, and if now's the time to use it. He pulls it out.
He's looking for more than one.
A very long time.
But yeah, doesn't actually get anything out of that one. Obviously a lot of zoning.
Yeah.
But aside from that, no kills.
Lots of zoning. Would have loved to frag or 2, I suspect, to be honest. Nox getting ready to go by himself. D-Field with the hack onto Covino. Should be able to pick up the frag. The EMP now ready as well. Full Metal goes ham.
Both Sombras have their EMP available. Tainted Minds winning this fight, but the next fight could just be decided by who gets the first EMP off. And if it's SereNity, that could end up leading into some sort of a very, very strong push. In fact, they might not even need it. Arceus gets a couple there. Quad J actually does manage to get Nox, so a little bit of an error in positioning there from Nox. Would have thought he would survive against that, given that he had a lot of time to avoid it. And he had his ult on. Doesn't really matter, though. At the end of the day, SereNity do come away with the first point, and maybe Nox wanted to die there, actually, because he just swapped straight off onto Tracer. Look, and he had used his ult, so...
That was weird. It almost felt for half a second like maybe Tainted Minds was just going to hold that for a little bit longer. Didn't end up being the case, however, and Covino, as you can see, that EMP ready to go. Potential here for him to buy them this next fight, and a lot of ground.
Well, here we go, walking into all of them. Oh, a big EMP straight out there, but where is SereNity to back up on that? Arceus, he gets 3 with the self-destruct, and that's what can happen. You're just not able to get anything down. You can't use your movement abilities to get around the corner. You can't put the Winston bubble down. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to die, and SereNity just take massive advantages off that. Look at how much they're going to be able to push the cart, chasing down all of those Tainted Minds players, and it's a complete wipe.
Now they have so much sustain as well, with both Forbles and Fluorash ready with their ultimates. It's going to make life very, very difficult here. Nox just trying to chase them down and use that pulse bomb, perhaps. Not going to work out, going to get picked up. Slitzel J did get that frag. 4 balls onto Godsworld. Very nice.
Yeah, Arceus doing a lot of work here. Already gets the majority of the damage actually onto the Zenyatta there, then denies the Deadeye.
Yep.
Actually might even kill McCree here.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he will. Slitzel J, you need to watch behind you. Very unfortunate for him to go down at that time. And that means that SereNity are in a great position now to start winning this fight. D-Field doing his best. Godsworld still spamming away with Zenyatta from quite far away. that was maybe not the way that they would have wanted it to go. Obviously, D-Field does come in there with the EMP, but it's far too late. Goes down straight away off the back of it, and now that's a 4-0 for SereNity.
Here comes the ultimate from Arceus as D.Va, I suspect.
Yeah, I want to see where
coming
they all
out from the EMP. Look at this, straight over the top.
Yeah, like, where are you going to go?
Because you were like, where's the rest of the team? Where's the follow-up from the EMP? That was the follow-up from the EMP.
Exactly.
And if we look at what point that was in the game, Jordan, Covino had another EMP ready to go right at the end within like 60 seconds of that first one.
Yeah. It was like kind of being between a rock and a hard place there for Tainted Minds. They either go back and they're basically dead to the self-destruct, or they go forward into that courthouse and they run into the entire SereNity team. So
it's tough. It's definitely tough. But 4-0, 2 4-0s today.
Yep.
And honestly, I didn't expect that one to be the case.
No, I didn't either. I definitely thought that Tainted Minds was going to have a little bit more, particularly after seeing that first map. I thought that it was going to be reasonably close, but SereNity, they just come up and they proved to be a little bit too strong there, which is great news for SereNity. Good news for Group B as well. Looks like we've got another strong contender there. So hopefully that's going to make things... yeah, that was totally unintentional.
Good one, Elfishguy.
But hopefully we're going to have